Now this gift bag is slightly different to some of the gift bags that we've done in the past. You'll see you've got that lovely double wall here going around the top. So this is a sturdy bag. It's all double, you know, double walled round here. And I'm going to show you how we're going to make this. Now I'm thinking, what colour shall we have? There's too many lovely colours to choose from. I'll tell you what, let's have a pink one. The lovely light pink. Let's go with that. Now with this to make the bag, let me find my instructions. She says they're hiding. And I've done some little templates to get this across as well to where you're going to put your red line tape. So this is 12 by 12. Let's move that out of the way. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut a strip off that is 1 inch, because that's going to be one of your handles. And then you need to cut another strip that is 1 inch. Okay, so we've got a piece now that is 10 by 12. These two handles, you need to then trim down to 11 inches. Okay, so we'll put those to one side. Now, the instructions for this are all done in inches. Okay, so I've got my inches scoreboard this afternoon, so I'm going to keep my two handles there at the side with my glass of water. Okay, got my instructions going on here. So we're going to start off with, we'll go with the long side at the top. We'll start off with the long side at the top. So we're on an inches scoreboard. Okay, so you're going to score straight away at 1/2 inch. All the way down. You're then going to do 5 inches and then 6 inches and then 7 inches and 11.5 inches. Okay, so that's on the long side. So that's your 12-inch side. You've got 1/2 inch, 5 inch, 6 inch, 7 inch and 11.5 inches. You're going to do a 1/4 turn and you're now going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down, and a 1/4 and a score as well at 9.5 inches. Oh, that's not in there very straight. Oh, that's not very straight. I haven't cut that very straight at all. Never mind. So you've got 1/2 inch and 9.5 inches. Okay, so you've got all those going on. Now the next thing I want you to do is, guess what? Yes, we're going to burnish. So we're going to just fold all these scores and give these a little burnish. Okay. Over again. And the last one on that side. Okay, and then we're going to do the two at the sides. And the one at this side. There we go. Now I want you then to open this up and you're going to fold that back. So you've got a join here and you've got a 1 inch this side and a 1 inch this side. You're going to bring back your scoreboard and you're going to lay it in your scoreboard with that fold at the top. And I want you to do a score at 1.5. It will be a little bit tricky because you're going through 2, but just bear with it and just make a mark. So you're going to do 1.5 and you're going to do 8.5. Okay. So it looks like that. So you've got those 2 scores in. Now, if it hasn't shown on the other side, mine has, you can just flip it over and do exactly the same again. So you do your 1.5 and your 8.5. Okay, so scoreboard then away, and we're going to cut a couple of little pieces out of this. So to start with, these little squares you've got in the corner, you're going to cut these off. Now I like to cut, there's the score line, I like to cut the other side of the score line. Okay, so you're just going to take those little pieces out. Okay, let's take that one out. Just take your time with it. Okay, so you've got your 4 little squares now taken out. Now, the middle piece, you know we did those extra scores. I want you to cut up to the second score line. So you're going to cut up to the second score line on both. But then this little bit on the end, this little bit, you're going to cut away. Okay. So it looks like that. So we'll do that again. So we'll do the same on this side. So you're going to cut to the second score line and cut to the second score line. That folds over. That could give that little burnish. And you're going to cut that little piece off. Okay, so in fact, while we're here, we'll give that a little burnish. And we'll give that one a little burnish. So as I said, this bag is put together slightly differently. All right. So now it's about adding our red line tape. So I'm going in with some 12mm red line tape because we're talking about construction. So to start with, I'm going to put a piece on the end here. And I've got my snips for my red line tape. That's one. And you're going to do exactly the same on this one. Not going over the score line because you need your score line to bend. Okay, and remember when you do your red line tape, you know I tell you to burnish because you'll see the red line tape change colour, and what this is doing is pushing the fibres of the glue into the fibres of your cardstock. Okay, so that's 1 and then 2. Okay, so I'm now going to right, we'll do this side first. So you've got your 2, this is say the inside, you've got your 2 pieces with the red line tape on the outside. Now on one side, it doesn't matter which, so let's say the left side, you're going to put again red line tape just on that tab there. Okay, and also on this one down here. Okay, let's give that again a little burnish. So this is the inside of your bag, so you've got tape on either end and tape on either end this side. I'm now going to turn it over. So this side we haven't put tape on these little tabs. So this time you're going to put tape on these two outer ones. So this is to say the right hand side. So let's put tape on there. And also on this one. I think if you make one of these, you will be really surprised how sturdy this bag is actually, you know, when you do it. Not just the cardstock, it's the construction of it. Okay, so we've done that. Now these two pieces here, I'm going to put red line tape on, purely because when you bring it all together, it is easier. Okay, you could glue it, but I'm going to do red line tape just because I think it's easier to do. That's it, that's one. And I tell you what, let's take the second piece, because we want it all to look professional. You don't want to have any bits that are flapping about. Okay, and you're going to do the same on this one. This is where you've got to try and get your scissors in. I'm trying to keep it all in the same position so you can actually see how it goes together. Okay, because I know many people out there are visual learners, and that's why at Pink Frog we're doing, you know, the lives and the videos to keep on a playlist so you can see it all together. So if you're a more visual learner, don't forget to check out the YouTube channel and the other playlists that are on there. And particularly you've got all the card folds to look at. Okay, so this is the outside of your bag. Now if you were decorating this bag, this is at this stage where I would say decorate. So if you were to put, say, stamping on it, anything like that, this is the stage you would do this at. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to carry on making this. So if you're decorating, decorate now. But with the beautiful colours of cardstock from Pink Frog, it just looks lovely as it is. I mean, well, it does to me. I just think it looks gorgeous. So that is everything there done. We're going to flip back over to the inside. Okay, so now let's start putting this together. So this is where just take your time. Okay, so as I said, this is like a double wall. So you've got, this is the inside, fold those flaps in, we'll do those last. You've got this one with the tape on the inside, don't take any notice of that, leave that in there for now. And you're going to take the tape off this one to join with the tape on that one. Okay, so this is where this little fold in the middle comes in handy, because it will just give you a little bit more movement. So let's take the tape off this side. So this is the inside still. Let's put that up out of the way. Okay, I've got my microfiber cloth next to me. So this tape with the tacky on is going to stick to this tape. This tab just here, tab, not tape, Dawn. So you're going to join those together. So you're going to create a nice seam. Okay, can you see that nice seam? Now you've got that tape on the inside. And this is where I might have to... So we're going to now take that piece off that inside there. Put that on my microfiber cloth. And you're going to stick it back on itself, so it lays nice and flat in your bag. Can you see? So we've taken one side off to give us that nice join, and that side to have that laying flat. So let's do that again over on the other side here. Okay, so this time we're going to take, let's pop that inside there. Take this one off. Okay, so take that red line tape off. Fold that in. Fold that one in. Let's just push that together like that. And then join those two together. Just nice and neatly. So just take your time. There we go. Push by pushing that out, you see. So you join those two together. So when you look in the bag, can you see by having this flapping about, it doesn't look very nice. It looks lovely on the outside because it's all joined, but on the inside you've got that bit flapping about. That's why we're going to tape that now back down. So let me just go in and pull the red line tape off here. Sorry, you can't actually see what I'm doing. I'm trying to do it on my desk. So there we go, there's the tape. So I'm going to pull that off, and then I'm going to lay that flat on this side. So now it looks nice on the inside. Okay, next thing we're going to do is take the tape off, and this is where I might have to have my pokey tool off these two pieces here on the inside. Oh, there's one. Well, there was one. So that's one. And the other, this, you can glue it, but personally I think the red line tape gives you an immediate stick. So I've taken, see, that's still got the tape on, that hasn't. So now if you just bring those together like that, and then you're going to lay those two across. Okay, it was that quick, you nearly missed it. So let's do it again. I'm just going to give that a burnish down. So can you see how you get that lovely, nice finish? So let's do that again. So let's go in this way. Let's take the tape off. That's one. And then we'll take the tape off that other one. Okay, so the tape is off. So you're going to bring that nice square edge, put your hand on the inside and flap that piece down. Give that a burnish, and that is done. So that gives you a nice bottom to your bag. Next thing we're going to do is to take these off, because this is going to fold this over and give a nice double-edged finish to the top of your bag. So you're just going to gradually fold that one in. I could have done this bit at the beginning, but I think it looks nice. But can you see how nice that looks rather than having a raw edge? That's what I said. I think these bags, this bag style is very sturdy indeed. And I think this makes, I could see this, you know, as you wanted to put, say, bridesmaids gifts, Christmas gifts. These would make lovely party favour bags for anybody of any age, sweet 16 right to little children. So that all folds nicely all the way round. So you've got your bag style. Then let's just bring in our handles that we made. Now your handles you can stick on the inside or you can stick on the outside. The choice is actually yours. And I am just wondering if we put them on the outside. So I'll tell you what, let's do a little shape to them, because I've got one with it on the inside. Let's do a little shape with the You know, you could put decorative buttons on them. There's so many things you could do with these. So I've just done a little banner type thing. Okay. So this one I'm going to stick on the outside. And I will show you how we do that as well. All right. So again, I'm going to put some red line tape because it's instant. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape onto there. And you're going to put that on each end that you've got. Okay. I'm going to put one onto here. And one onto here. So you can see that the tape is both on the same side. Give that a little burnish down. So now let's bring our bag in so we can start adding our handles. Now you can measure where your handles go or you can eyeball. I'm going to eyeball, but you can measure if you wish. So I'm going to pop one there. So you see I've got it on the outside for a little bit of interest. Now before I turn this round and stick the other one, what I am going to do is to put the other one on. Then I've got roughly the same place. So let's just take this one off here. So we hold that together. And put that onto there. Okay, so you've got two of your handles on. And then you're going to fold this back on itself to put the other handle on. So let me take the tape off this one. So can you see your handles coming round and you're going to sort of have it rolled like that. And then we'll match that down about there. So can you see that goes nicely round? And then we'll do the same with the other one. So round like that, just sort of eyeball measuring it where it's going to go. And there you go. There is your lovely bag from one sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. So don't forget that the cardstock comes in an array of colours. Let me just bring these out for you. I'll just run through the colours again. So you've got super smooth. You've got black in 200 GSM and also 300 GSM. You've got grey. You've got dark grey. You've got light pink. You've got light brown. Running out of space. Let's tighten these up. You've got ivory. And then also you've got that lovely dark chocolate brown, or just this we just call brown. You've got light blue. You've got blue. And then you've also got dark blue. You've got pink. You've got your red. And you've got your green. So those are all your true pink frog colours in 12 by 12. So anybody after acid lignin free, these are your true colours. And then today we've also been using a couple of the new ones, which is your antique white linen and your elephant skin, and these aren't true. These are just used for construction.